start a show to glow. Life stories wild like a late night dream. We're spilling the tea and it's hot like steam. Brutsy and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Brutsy and Kitty show. From trending news to the tales untold. Spinning the wheel, let the stories unfold. Catch us in the vibe where the chatter grows. With a pair that keeps you on your toes. What's the buzz? What's the word? Spill it fast, haven't you heard? Brutsy and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Brutsy and Kitty show. Truth or dare, we're taking the leap. Stories that'll make you laugh or weep. Tune in now, let the fun explode. This is your stop, it's the Brutsy code.
Just in time. Good afternoon, good people. You're watching the Brutsy and Kitty show. Kitty, how are we doing on this lovely day?
I'm fine, thank you. Happy Thursday, everybody. It is Thursday, isn't it? I am losing track of every day.
Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, and it is Thursday.
Thank you for just verifying that. School holidays does that to every parent, because it's just like dragging so much. All of a sudden, 6 weeks holiday, don't even bother talking to me and asking me what time of day it is. I've got no clue.
Okay, kitty. We have a small matter of a immigrant being paid £500 to leave the country. The country's up in arms about it. They're very angry. Kabatu, he assaulted a mother and daughter. What are your thoughts, Kitty, on this £500?
Well, we got let off quite reasonably, I think, because the last lot were getting 2,000. So he needs to sort of sort himself out, because the last lot got £2,000 each. I think what we've got to weigh up here is he could have tied us up in legal battles thanks to the loony left and those lawyers that like their money and call it human rights. He could have tied us up for thousands and thousands or hundreds of thousands of pounds while we were still letting him roam the streets. So I think £500, I think if you'd have asked everybody in the country to give 50p, or, 1,000 people give 50p each to get rid of him, I think we'd have paid it, don't you? I think that's how you have to look at it.
Yep.
£500 and a plane ticket, ta-ta, you're somebody else's problem. The only problem we've got is if he comes back on another boat with another name.
Yeah. Well, one would hope that, when he gets deported back, that he's going to spend some time in jail for his crimes. You'd hope that one, and then you would definitely hope that everyone coming over is being fingerprinted and on the visual ID sort of thing cameras, or the facial recognition cameras. So if they see someone that's not meant to be it, automatic, we should have our own little ICE police force that are designed. They can see someone, he shouldn't be here, he's been here, bad person, send him back. Nice and easy, quick and easy, done.
What we need to do personally, if I was in charge right now, and I was in Keir Starmer's shoes, which are awful, I would put an end to human rights for anybody that comes here illegally and commits a crime. You lose all human rights the moment you are found guilty of that crime. You've got no legs to stand on legally. I want the solicitors and the lawyers to stop making money in the name of human rights for monsters. And that is what we need, I think. I think that would be my answer. No more human rights. If you have touched or troubled, like we said, a child in any way, shape or form, or you have ended somebody's life, you've taken somebody's life, you have lost all rights to human right. Job done.
Yeah.
There you go. Manifesto, Kitty.
Honestly, it wouldn't be that hard. Like, I was thinking the other day, it wouldn't be that hard to win votes and win seats. Like, because all you'd have to do is just come up with some basic common sense policies. Like, some basic common sense policies, and I feel like I don't know whether our prime minister has sort of like the presidential powers, like, to do like a presidential sort of pardon and just sort of like to make
I think the way it works is he can come up with an idea.
Yeah.
Anyone can come up with an idea, and then it goes to the House of Commons, if I'm
Yeah.
right, and then it goes to the House of Lords, and it's the House of Lords that have the final vote on whether it becomes a law. I think, now if I'm wrong, please correct me, but I'm sure it's the House of Lords that have the last say.
I'll do some homework on it.
Bearing in mind, these guys used to be lawyers and judges.
Yeah, Keir Starmer was a lawyer, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. So think about that. So their bread and butter was keeping these people in the country.
Yeah.
So you've got to look at it that way. But I think I would go above the Lords, because there's only one person above the Lords, and I'd go to the King on this one, and I'd get the King to sign it off. If you are troubling children in that way, rape women, and you are an illegal immigrant, you have lost any human rights, and you will be deported back to your country. We do not want you. Now, what they're doing is, I'm sorry, I've got an itchy nose. I think I've got a bit of hay fever. What they're doing is, when they're getting off the boats, apparently they're ripping their passports up. You don't know who they are. Well, I'm afraid we'll find out who you are, even if we have to DNA test you now and find out where you're from. Ancestry.com. You're going back there. So tough. I always remember Margaret Thatcher saying, we'll be having words with countries that won't take their own people back. And I think we need that sort of stance again. If you are not going to, we want to know why. But the human part of me will say, we will start making help. We will give you help to make your country safe.
That's what that is what I'm talking about. Like, if we take, so like, say I don't know what we're taking in terms legal immigration. I think it was like 300 something thousand the other day. I know a lot of those people go to work and then they're nurses and all the rest of it. But the people coming over, if it cost us like all these billions a year to house these migrants in hotels and all the rest of it, can you imagine what £1 billion would do in their country? Like, you could literally build anything. So, and maybe take something for ourselves as well. Make it make sense for ourselves. Like, if we're gonna invest in the country, we should maybe get some of those natural resources, like, the right way. Because as I've been piping on about, China and Russia are already on it. They're making deals with these Africans and these Asian countries, and they're collecting.
That's why we're clued up, because we've got that like foreign thing going off, and we know what we're talking about. I think tit for tat. We'll take some of your resources, but what we're going to do is we're going to make your country safe, and we're not going to blow you up, and we're not going to come to war with you. We're going to stop getting involved in other people's wars, please. I'm not interested.
Wow.
I'm sick to death of Israel and Palestine, because no matter what happens, they just won't behave. They're like two naughty children who want their heads banging together. Stop killing people. Stop it.
Yeah. The Israel-Palestine one's a tough one because, unfortunately, we're arming them. Our country's arming them. America's arming them. And, we're ultimately going to get blamed for that, and that's going to start resulting in attacks. And I believe you have a story to tell us what's happened recently.
Well, they've started again, haven't they? They've blown up the Gaza Strip. Israel allegedly have blown up the Gaza Strip again. That is going to be beachfront property before you know it, and this is their way of doing it.
100%. I think we should all be very scared at the minute. We should all be very, very scared, like, what the government and what the elites above their government, what their higher plan is for us, because we're seeing already about like AI taking jobs and stuff like that. These people in these really high positions, like, and I'm not talking about politicians, I'm talking about the shadow sort of people, the sort of like they said there's 6 versions of the CIA. There's not one version of the CIA. There's 6 versions of it. Like, we need to be very careful, because if they're willing to, like, just look at you, like, there's anyone that might think it's just brown and black face. You look at what's going on in Ukraine at the minute. These are like, two European giants. One of them's a bit bigger, literally
Yeah.
blowing each other up and killing 5,000 people on each side every single day. Like, and people are saying, unfortunately, the rumors have speculated that people from Israel have started moving into places in Ukraine, and and apparently there's only sort of Israeli sort of you're
Yeah.
only allowed in certain areas if you're a Jew in certain parts of Ukraine. I don't know how 100% true that is, but that's the sort of videos I've been kind of like popping up and I've
Yeah.
been seeing and
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
and that's not going to help the
The,
conspiracy
the,
theorists.
yeah, the conspiracy theories in my mind just went there, right, to a conspiracy theory, and this is just a conspiracy theory. Nobody clicked this. So to me, this sounds like ethnic cleansing, because, like we've said, Russia has the ability to come in and just end this war.
Mm-hmm.
They have the ability. We know they have the ability. We know they have the weapons. We know that they could end this war in seconds. Done. We're just taking it back. So why aren't they doing it? Why are they allowing 5,000 people on
I
each?
I was puzzled by this, because I'm sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, like, if I'm the big guy and I've got the bigger weapons, I've got the bigger army, I've got the bigger everything, whatever my plan is for Ukraine, like, am I willing to sacrifice 5,000 of my men every day? Like, I think if I was in charge, I'd probably make some sort of insidious threat and say, look, I want what I want. I'm not going to sacrifice any more of my people's lives. I'm not going to, like, this is your final warning to give me what I want. Otherwise, there's going to be repercussions. Like, that might sound really harsh if you're on the Ukrainian side. And I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I'm just saying, if I put myself in Putin's position for a second, I think to myself, why is he even if it's not even a fight? It's not even a fight if he doesn't want it to be a fight. He can literally, it's one of those situations where he could literally drop one of those big bombs and just literally, that'd be it. Like, people would be devastated.
That smells to me of ethnic cleansing. That's where my head went straight away when we was talking then, because otherwise you'd be on your TV screen as Putin, waving your big weapons about, saying, "Listen, you're going to see these if you don't do as you're told, right? You've got one chance. You may even let off a smaller weapon just to show them what the big guns can do." Right, you might lose a few thousand that way. They're what they call cannon fodder, aren't they? And I am not talking about human life like that, like I think about it. I'm talking from a point of view of Putin.
Yeah.
Right, cannon fodder. Right, that's what you do. Why is he holding back for some reason? Think about that.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
now
that's
that there is a big Jewish contingency there. Makes me wonder. Ethnic cleansing.
yeah, I mean, it's very puzzling. Like, I'm pretty sure, and I can't, it can't just be me. It's like, it's very puzzling to why, like, 5,000 people of your people dying every single week. That's too much, surely. That's too much. Like, surely you would, like, especially if it's an enemy that you could perceive the enemy or whatever from your point of view or whatever. If it's an enemy, like, that you're bigger than, that you can deal with quite easily if you want to. Like, why would you allow 5,000 of your soldiers to die every single week? Like,
He's got to say to the countries surrounding us, listen, I don't want anything to do with you guys. It stops at the Ukraine, right? I don't want it. I'm coming to the Ukraine. I'm taking over. It's mine. And if you don't, maybe there will be trouble. We don't want trouble with Russia because
No.
we know backed by China.
No.
We know that these two go together.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I don't want to hear Keir Starmer, if he stays in power for the next 3 or 4 years, 3 years, whatever it is. If he starts talking about war with Russia, I'm not interested, mate. And they're trying to make out like there's going to be severe punishments for people that refuse to sign up and fight. But for me, I'm not interested. Like, now everyone's awake now. You can't BS us anymore. Like, we know what's going on in the world. Like, so no one is willing to sort of go and sacrifice and die and kill for another country to freaking have more freaking land or beachfront property and more oil and more gold. No one's willing to do. The general public, obviously, the soldiers that have enlisted, they're obligated to do it. They probably will do it, but but against Russia, why would we even want to talk? Like, I'm hearing all this talk from Keir Starmer. Why do we even want to? Like, we should be going to make peace with Russia. Like, as far
We
as I'm
don't.
concerned, yeah. As
We
far
don't.
as I'm concerned, yeah, we don't need that. Like, as far as I'm concerned, we got our nukes. This is what we should be doing. We say, look, everybody, it's been nice knowing you, all of you in NATO. We're gonna live in peace by ourselves. We're gonna make peace with everyone. We don't want no trouble with no one. But if trouble comes to our door, we have our nukes ready to rock and roll on the dead man switch as well. So you think you can get us on the sly? We have our dead man switch. Boom, like make loads of trade deals and stuff, and just be like, you know what? We're gonna start making deals with countries, and we're gonna stop robbing people. We're gonna stop starting stupid wars. No one wants to go to war now and freaking die for oil and die for all sorts of rubbish. Like
Bring the trade back to the UK. Cars built in the UK gives people jobs, gives people self-satisfaction. Agriculture. Do you know something? The more I read that manifesto yesterday, the more I was like,
It's amazing that we like. What's so hard about? There's so much land everywhere. Like why are we paying so much for fruit and vegetables? Like why are we paying so much for vegetables? Why are we importing so much food from other countries as well? Why aren't we growing our own food and producing that?
Then when you hear stories about that farmers are being asked not to farm on certain land and they're being paid not to farm on that land. Why?
Yeah.
Why? We need the food. We need to be self-sufficient. This is what we need in this country. Like you said, we need to say to everyone, when we did Brexit, we really meant it. We're not interested anymore. Yeah. We don't want part of any war. We're a little island. You can't get to us. We've got one of the best navies in the world. Right? That navy will be going round this little island, and if you come near us, we're not playing. We've also got the Marines, we've got the Royal Navy, we've got everything. Don't come and play. We've got one of the best air forces in the country, in the world. Don't come for us. We'll come back. Right? But what we're gonna do is we're gonna come out of all your countries. We don't want any of your business, right? We don't want any of your wars. We don't want it. Can't afford war this week. We're going to look after ourselves, and if you play nice, we'll play nice with you.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, obviously, you've got to make trade deals with other countries and stuff, and obviously they're going to want something for it. But I just want us to be away from everything at the minute. Like, just come out of all this rubbish. Like, we should be making friends with Putin. Mr. Xing over there in China. Like, can you imagine if it all comes, if it all comes to an end, and it probably wouldn't even be us as well. It'd probably be America that starts some crap with them and pushes China too far, and then we'd be obligated to get involved in that sort of trouble, and so would Russia.
That is the first break I would make with the Yanks.
I think so. I think it's about time we split from them. I think so. Like, why are we acting like...
They wanted that declaration in 1776. They wanted nothing to do with us. There you go.
I think so. Why not cut from America? But the people at the top, they've got their agenda, and it probably does. They don't care what we think. Definitely don't care what we think.
Said, how embarrassing was it when he had to kiss Donald Trump?
Yeah, that's mad. I don't get that. Why? Are their nukes that much bigger than ours? Why are we having
a nuke show off? You can't. Your nukes can't touch us. Your nukes cannot touch us. They don't go long enough. So just stay on your own country. You signed that declaration in 1776, and a number you keep throwing at us, and we're quite happy for you to stay on. Keep your health care the way it is. We don't want any part of it.
Oh my God! Are you seeing those videos? Are you seeing those videos of people saying they want to go to America and all the rest of it? A lot of people are saying there was I did see a really good collection of videos actually where people were like, no way, the healthcare over there is crap. You're damn. There's no healthcare there, mate. There's healthcare if you're rich, and most people would really, really suffer. Like if you're earning under 30,000 a year, and you think you're going to go to America, you're literally one paycheck away from from becoming the mole people, living under a bridge somewhere.
But these people, most of them, have only ever been to America to go to Disneyland. Yeah. So that's that is a complete and utter fantasy.
A fantasy, literally.
Yeah, you're walking into a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Or Universal World or wherever. You're walking into this Universal World. That is not what America is all about. You haven't seen the poverty. You haven't seen the walking dead, and they are walking
It's disgusting.
dead.
Honestly, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. We'll have to watch. We'll have to watch a video on one of our streams next time we do it. Of this YouTuber Tyler. I think his name's Tyler Oliver, and he went out there. And if you just honestly, you just feel so sorry for these people, and more importantly, like, you know, their children that are gonna. These people are bringing children into the world, like, you know, and you know, you got a mum. Like, it really did stick with me. You know, the mum was like saying that she was out on the streets when she was 13, selling her body, and I'm just like, good God, now this woman's a mother, like, you know, and the way she's being treated, like, and the way she's acting, like, you know, the guy was basically making them do stuff for like $5, like, you know, and these are desperate people, children at home, like, you know, imagine that.
You know that what the next thing is, they start
Yeah,
selling children, and it's
they will do that. They will start selling the children, and
you know that show, The Walking Dead.
yeah,
It's like happening. It's happening. You just can't see it because they don't show that side of it. These people are zombies. They are walking around either cracked off their or messed off their heads.
yeah,
Walking around. They've got no money. They are living from whatever pittance they get to the next pittance. And God forbid they get ill or one of their children get ill. But they don't care about the children because all they care about is their next fix. They are the walking dead. And you guys want that sort of life to come over here. The people that want that are the people that have got enough money that if they were ill, they would, you know.
If you make 70 grand a year and you've got at least £200,000 savings, then yeah, America, you could go move somewhere lovely and you'd be doing amazing out there. But if you're not, and you've got no savings, and you think all these people saying they want Trump to be president, yeah, go over there and see. Trump don't even see you as a human being, like, you know, he sees you as, you know, cannon fodder. You know, you're literally the lowest of the lowest. You know, Trump's about green. He likes green. He's not about, a lot of you think Trump, oh yeah, he's this big far right guy. Trump cares about rich people. He don't care about the people underneath you lot. Like, you know, he loves inciting you guys. Like you know, Trump, buddy, mate, you got in power. You're gonna start looking after us. No healthcare for you still. When your kids are sick and you have to go to hospital, and all they say to you is, all we can do is give them painkillers to make them comfortable. What do you say? What do you say? And this is the great country that everyone aspires to want to be like. Like, you know, it's a joke.
How would you feel holding your child, right? And it's sickly, and they're saying, not is she okay? Or are they okay? Healthcare, insurance. And you're like, no, I we'll sort insurance out in a minute. Look after my child. Insurance. Where's your insurance? That, and they are programmed to be like that. You're not going to get one that goes, quick, get in, and I'll sort it out. You might get one or two, but they're all programmed. Insurance.
Yeah.
Where's your insurance? Let me have your financial details. You know, they are literally. I don't think they've got pay and swipe yet, have they? I don't think they've got touch thing, but you know, they are pay me. Basically,
I don't know. Talking about payment, sorry, I did see a video of this ex-Navy SEAL or something. He's sorry.
Yes, Mia. Yes, baby. Sorry.
Yes, sorry. This ex-Navy SEAL. He was talking about the government are planning to do these digital IDs for veterans first to trial it out. And what this guy was kind of alluding to, it was kind of a call to action, really, like, come and let's stand up, let's stop him, because his conspiracy was basically they want to know exactly where all the veterans are, where the sort of military capable people are, just in case. I don't know, that was his sort of thing, but I never heard about it. But he made a video. It's done very well. It's got millions of views, and he's basically saying that, you know, they're wanting veterans to try out the ID cards things first.
Well, I think it's easier for them.
Thank you.
The veterans are literally programmed by, you do this for king and country, so they can indoctrinate the veterans in the sense of, you know, this is what you're meant to do. You lead by example. We show the working folk that if you do it, they'll follow. That's supposed to be the plan, but let's face it, a lot of them, especially after the Iraq War, are absolute not playing ball anymore. They've
They've done, because the thing is, they would have had, like, you know, you hear some of the veterans, some of their testimony, like, you know, their statements and stuff. They have done some foul things, like, you know, some foul things under the umbrella of country and all the rest of it, you know, country and honor and all the rest of it, and orders. Like, you know, there's one veteran that was talking about, you know, he was responsible for killing a bus load of people, like, you know, filled with children. How do you get over that? Like, you know, the only way there are some, and they've done a lot of documentaries, undercover documentaries about the kind of people that do go into the military in America, and they do tend to come out really extreme, like, you know, after what they've seen, or they do seem to be I don't know what the word is, radicalized. Maybe they had them thoughts before they go in. I don't know. But it does seem to be a big problem. Cat Slater, you look like. Yes, lovely. Someone saying you look like Cat Slater. You've heard that once or twice.
Yeah, I'm Kitty Slater. I'm a better looking sister. Yeah, I think the damage that the army and that Iraq war did, and there was one before, and I can't remember the name of it. There was a war before that the UK was in. Was it Sarajevo? No. I know my cousin was in Ulster, and then there was a war between them, and that screwed his mind up. My cousin was a grenadier, and obviously he went to serve, and then the Iraq war, which really pushed him over the edge. And because they were seeing what we weren't seeing, we were seeing what the news wanted us to see, that the people in Iraq were bad people. They were bad people, and when they needed to die. But what they were seeing was human people that were being used as shields, kids used as shields, and they were being told to shoot at kids and schools and hospitals, and that will wreck a person. That will wreck.
I mean, unless you're a sociopath, like, you know, unless you're a sociopath, you can unless you're a sociopath, if, like, you know, you've seen the American Sniper where he has to you know, where he kills the boys, that picks up a bazooka and stuff like that. You know, he does it, but, you know, it did take effect on him. Like, you know, you'd have to be a bit of a psychopath to be able to shoot human beings, especially little children, like probably as young as your children, and just sort of go home and sort of rub that off, like, you know.
One of the guys that was in my cousin's company, I can't tell you his name, mainly because I can't remember it, but he was their sniper. The military released his name.
Wow. And
he's still now moving. He had to split up with his wife and everything because he was frightened to death. They've all got new names. They released his name. That's how they don't care. They
put bounties on your head, didn't they? They do. Yeah. They put bounties on their head. I remember that they did that with the American Sniper guy in America as well. They put a bounty on his head as well. Like, you know, there was big money on it.
Out with these people. These people have got money as well. You know, like ISIS. Big money. They've got big backing. Hamas. They've got big backing. Don't get it twisted. They've got dough, and they will come after you. And unfortunately, there's somebody that's going to think to himself, 11 million.
Yeah. Not even that in this day and age, mate. You offer the right person £1,000, mate, and he'll probably go and do something crazy for you, like, you know. Yeah,
I used to know someone that did tenner in his bus fare.
literally, that's where we're going. All right, let's go with story of the day, guys. We're talking about Hadez Kabatu being paid £500 to leave the country after assaulting a mother and daughter. Was that money well paid? And Sarah Potchin, let's talk about Sarah Potchin again, because this one for me is really, really distasteful. Because I think to myself, how can you, just imagine if you're a young person and you hear, you expect an MP to behave with some sort of dignity and class. And let's go back to what she actually said. Let's have a look at what Sarah said. Let's get it up here 1 second.
A bit left field, this one, but I think it's creepingly important. Would Reform do anything to look at the representation of the demographics of TV and public advertising? Because we're getting to the point now where adverts don't represent what this country looks like, and actually positive demonisation of white people, just portrayed as criminals or inadequate when they're not.
Okay, Stuart, say where you are. Sarah, what do you think of what Stuart's saying? What would Reform UK do about it, if anything?
I think Stuart's absolutely right. Drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people, full of, people that basically are anything.
What's wrong with that?
I think that's about it. How can you be a respectable politician? Like, how can this woman even be allowed in the Houses of Parliament? Like, that for me, that's taking the dog whistle to another level. I know there's people online that love it, the typical sort of, the typical middle-aged sort of Gary Neville crew. They love all this sort of stuff and the sort of older generation. But for me, like, where do they want this country to go? Do they want this country to go really bad? Like, where people start freaking, like, where madness starts happening. Like, something like that is terrible. Like, for me, that's really, really terrible.
Even if you think that in the privacy of your home, which you are allowed to do, and I don't, but even if you think that, what in the world of anything, what in the world of Gary Neville makes you think it is okay to say that with that smirk on your face?
As an MP as well. As an MP, like, imagine...
As a representative of people in this country, what actually went through her head where she thought, this is the right thing for me to say? Firstly, who rang up and asked that question? Excuse me, I am sick to death of seeing brown and black faces on my TV. Bad times, love, because that's where we are right now.
And the demonization of white people on shows as well. So I'm like, wait a minute over here. I don't think you can win. So what do you want? do you want it just to be loads of white people and black villains, or do you want it to be like, or do you just want it to be all? If it's all white people and there's got to be white villains, and surely no. you don't.
You watch the Oz, the villains are green.
Well, I think there's a lot of people. There. What I've noticed as well, especially when going around these sort of marches and stuff and looking around, there's a lot of men that are looking for their second calling, having a bit of a midlife crisis. People that aren't like 9 times out of 10. These people don't even watch TV. Like, they don't watch TV anyway. They're not really interested in anything. They probably just watch the same old boring shows. And they're just having a moan. It's like when England play, and then you just hear the same old people phoning up, and it's like, did you watch the game? No, I didn't even bother. Like, these aren't even football people. They're just serial moaners. Like, we have like a bunch of agony aunt men, middle-aged men, and sort of and older, like, that are they're just lost in this generation. They're lost.
Do you think it's because they were never called up? Because, this generation now that are like 40, 50, 60, they missed the draft, didn't they? Because obviously at one point we was like, you had to go into the army at 18, blah, blah, blah. And you was given a bit of you had 3 years of this. Do you think that maybe that's it? Maybe that they didn't get their anger out at 18, and maybe that's what it's all about right now. I'll never understand these armchair ones that sit there and go, "Oh, it was always the black player that lost it for England."
Yeah. That's the generation that we're talking about, and I think they're in denial anyway. I think they're in denial, and a lot of unconscious bias in their minds, maybe.
I just don't get it. I just don't get how you can sit. Say you watch Liverpool, right? And that bloke the other week that was literally screaming in his wheelchair, and people actually said, "Oh, you can't have a go at him because he's disabled." Yes, I can. He's a racist. He's a racist, and he's saying racist things. So I can call him out on it. Just because he's disabled, it doesn't make him any less of a racist.
And what makes it even funnier is all the black players on his team scored the goals for Liverpool that day.
Exactly. What I mean? We are a when are people going to get it in their heads that we are a multicultural country? And most of the people that you revere and the people that you look up to when you're on the terraces are of colour.
Yeah.
90% of teams these days, I would say, are of colour. I was really surprised the other day of how many Chinese players there are now.
Yeah, Chinese players are, they're very good, they're very fit, and you don't really hear about a Chinese player in the newspapers doing something he shouldn't be doing. That's a Jack Grealish sort of thing there. You see him stumbling at the pubs and stuff.
I was just very surprised at how we moved that way as well. You know, there are now sort of Chinese people, or the Asian side of it are coming in now as well. And it's nice to see, because, you know, as we know, there are people with talents all over the country.
All over.
I love the fact that the internet opened up the talent to the football. You know, like at one time it was 80% white people on the field. Then all of a sudden the internet opened up and you could see people in Ethiopia and Ghana and Nigeria and all this, and you saw the talent and the raw talent, and you brought them over. I think that's fabulous, and I think that is moving with the times. And, you know, I don't look at my football team and go, that black player and that black player. I look at my team and go, that's the Reds.
Yeah, I think the football one's always a weird one for me, because you do obviously, like, you know, when the black players missed the penalties and stuff like that, you know, all the sort of racial abuse that came out. You know, there are people that, you know, for you to do that, don't get me wrong, you know, social media, there's the consumers and there's the business people that are making money off the dog whistles, and a lot of people make money off hatred, like, you know, and, you know, some people are just like, I saw loads of dog whistles today on Instagram, and I was just like, someone had a picture of the Whitechapel March the other day with the Muslim guys, and then he had the picture of the people from Tommy Robinson's march, and he put good guys on the Muslim side, and he put bad guys on the other side, and then everyone is like commenting. I'm like, wait a minute, guys, who's the judge of this? This guy's just dog whistling you lot, so you lot like his video and comment on it. It's honestly like, it's so. I'm in the wrong business. I should be in the not radicalization, but I should be in the dog whistling game. It's so easy. Anyone could do it.
I saw this morning he was a bad person, alleged bad person, and his name was Jihad, and they were like, oh, are you sure it's not Tommy McBad bad guy and all this? And they were sort of playing on the fact that his name was Jihad. And they were saying that it was all made up, and it was, you know, people were using it as rage bait. Oh, it's Tommy McRage bait and things like that. If the guy's done something bad, I don't care what religion he is, and I don't care what colour he is. He's just a bad person. I don't care what his name is. I just don't want him in the country. Bugger off. Right? That's it. Simple. Like I say, you don't get rights to human rights the moment you hurt another human.
I'm naming my future son Mujahid. Mujahid, is that right? Okay, that's nice. Mujahid.
But apparently, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm only reading the comments, and this is a little bit of ignorance. Does Jahid mean struggle?
Jahid. I think you said that. I think jihad. You mean jihad?
Jihad. Sorry. Does that mean struggle? Sorry, that was listening to you guys.
Jihad. I think it means what? Oh, it means yeah. Oh, okay. There we go. This is where you need a translator in the chat. Shout out to you. It means strife or struggle. Yes.
So I don't understand why you call your child strife or struggle. I don't understand, but that's just a parent thing. But if the person's done something bad, I don't care what his name is. I just don't want him on the streets.
Yeah.
Don't use it as rage bait. Just get the person off the streets.
So what was the story? So I totally missed your story. What you was talking about with that?
There's a guy, and I think he's poked or something.
Yeah.
And his name was Jihad. Right? And it was a left. One of these lefties going, oh, what, are you sure his name wasn't? Because he was saying that it's a load of lies, that it's all made up, and in blah blah blah. And they were saying, are you sure his name's not Tommy McRagebait and things like that?
Yeah.
And
this is a calling. Sorry, Kitty. This is a calling show, guys. If you go on YouTube, Brudsy Entertainment, there's a link in the chat. You can click on it, and it will bring you in without your camera as well. You can come in and speak, guys. You're welcome to do that. Brudsy Entertainment on YouTube. Sorry, Kitty.
Yeah, it was just this rage bait thing that I saw, and he was like, oh, the name Jihad. Who'd call their child Jihad? And there was a few that actually went, well, actually, my name's that, or I've got a cousin called that. I don't understand why you'd call now we've had that explained to us that it does mean strife and struggle. Why would you call your child that? Yeah. And especially in today's society, why would you be called Jihad? Don't understand it. And it was just like you said, a dog whistle. so that people could fight in the comments, and that they got loads of likes and rage bait and whatever. The story's true. This guy has poked somebody, and it's an awful story. You know, like the Uxbridge one. This guy that's supposedly, well, allegedly stabbed 3 people in Uxbridge. You know, the first thing they said, he's an Afghan immigrant. No need to tell us that. He's just a bad person. I don't care where he came from. I just don't want him here anymore. Simple as. But then, as my friend said to me, not everybody thinks like you.
No, I mean, no, because I think if you're, I get the initial reaction, initial anger, because that's just human nature. Like, you know, whether we like it or not, you know, we say we all say we shouldn't see color and blah blah blah. If someone wrongs you and you see it, the initial reaction will be anger, and there might be a little bit of bias that comes out of that. That's totally natural. I wouldn't shoot anyone down for that. After a little while, you have to sort of come to reason and think, okay, it wasn't every black person. It wasn't every Muslim. It wasn't every Asian. It wasn't every Irish person. It wasn't every Chinese person that done it. I think after a little while, you will come to that conclusion, unless you've got that built in. Like some people, it seems like they're just angry every day. Like, they're angry. These people are so angry and so bitter. They're watching televisions. They're watching MTV Base, and they're saying there's too many black people on the show. Like, you know, yeah. Honest to God, you know, some of these people moaning, they're not the target demographic anyway. Like, you know, that men don't like. You know, the target demographic normally is women. Like, you know, and women want to. Unfortunately, guys, I know this might rage bait you. Well, a lot of white women like to see tanned, good shape, dark and handsome kind of fellas. That is what women want, and that's what you're gonna see on the television. Like, you know, so unfortunately, boo-hoo to you. Beer bellies and all the rest of it is not gonna work, unfortunately. So yeah.
Women do like a little bit of chocolate. They like it, you know, whether it's milk chocolate, dark chocolate, whatever they like their chocolate. Whatever it is, don't take it so personal, guys, because we also like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
He's 60 years old. We do like a little bit of a dad bod sometimes. It's just personal preference. Don't take what one person finds attractive, not necessarily everybody finds attractive. And I think this is one of the rules you've got to learn, lads. Yep. If a woman says no, it doesn't mean that the next one's going to say no. Especially if you've got a big wallet. I said wallet.
Yes. Yes. The wallet is more important. The wallet is more. I think men are starting to see their value now with that. Guys, Fountain, if you're in here, go to my YouTube channel, Brad's Entertainment, and click on the link and just come in, just if you want to just explain that really quickly about the name thing, because I'm not sure about if I'm pronouncing it right as well. But yes, so yeah, if you've got money, then you're the boss now, mate. And most men now are going to live with going to Thailand, mate. They're going to Thailand or they're going abroad, and they're loving life out there, mate. They can have 3 or 4. Like, you can get a wife for 500 quid or something, and you know she could be like, you know.
I saw on Instagram yesterday. I swear on my children's life, I saw this. I don't know whether it's true. A 79-year-old man, multi-billionaire, right, from the UK, is looking for a young wife to have his baby.
Wow.
So he has an heir.
Wow.
I was so upset I'd gone through my menopause.
It might also be game. It might also be game to sleep with a load of young women, though.
I know.
There was a guy that did that in America. There was a guy that did that. He didn't quite do it like that. He basically said he was, you know, the casting couch thing, and he basically said he was a massive. He said he was a massive movie star director, and initially to get your audition out there, you have to sort of, you know, you have to really sell it in the audition video. And he was jailed, though, to be fair, but a lot of men, for the comments were very funny because a lot of men named him a hero because obviously he was getting all these women and stuff.
But this guy, he looked like a 79-year-old, like, lord. You know, those ones that walk around in the wellies and have got the estate and blah. We don't know whether it was true. I don't know what.
Oh, sorry, my bad. 1 second. Sorry, I haven't. Did I even put it in there? Did I put it in there? 1 second.
Let me Google. We're talking.
Yeah, no worries. Sorry, it's in the chat now. Sorry, my bad. It's in the chat now. Yeah, just go into the chat and just click on that thing. You don't have to turn your camera on when you come in, and I'll put you in. Guys, this is a calling show. We do want to hear from people, guys. We're talking about Mr. Hades Kabatu being paid £500 to leave the country. They did say though, if he would have stayed, it could have cost the taxpayer 10 grand. 10 grand. I can't speak today to save my life. Good God, it would have cost the taxpayers 10 grand.
Oh, he's married.
He's found one, has he?
Yeah, his name's Benjamin Slade. It's real. It was real. He's married now.
Okay, he's found one.
Yeah, Pauline McBurr. She was born in 1991. So she's 30, 30 something. Oh, hold on, what's this?
We're just looking for. Apparently, this billionaire man is looking for a wife, or he was looking for a wife, and
Got a 13,000-acre Somerset estate. He's not afraid to say what he wants. His name's Benjamin Slade. Embarked on a quest for a significantly younger woman who is charmingly described as a good breeder.
wow.
I told you he looks like.
Is he a good looking 70 person, or is he a bad looking?
He looks like he would be in the House of Commons. Look, there he is.
Mm-hmm.
He looks.
Oh
like,
wow, jeez.
He looks like he's a 79-year-old man.
Wow, that's impressive. Guys, the stories of today. Hades Kabatu paid £500 to leave the country. Sarah Potchin, did she go too far? I think 100% she went too far. Let's listen again to her video.
A bit left field, this one, but I think it's creepingly important. Would Reform do anything to look at the representation of the demographics of TV and public advertising? Because we're getting to the point now where adverts don't represent what this country looks like, and actually positive demonisation of white people, just portrayed as criminals or inadequate when they're not.
Okay, Stuart, stay where you are. Sarah, what do you think of what Stuart's saying? What would Reform UK do about it, if anything?
I think Stuart's absolutely right. Drives me mad when I see adverts full of black people, full of Asian people, full of, people that basically are anything.
What's wrong
other
with that,
than
Sarah?
white.
What's wrong with that?
Absolute scum, if you ask me. Absolute scum. I think I'm going to start a petition for her to be fired, guys.
Hasn't been fired.
Yeah. I'm going to start a petition. I think I'm going to start a petition today, and for her to be fired, 100%, because that is disgraceful. That is honestly disgraceful. This is an MP that children are gonna look up to. You don't. This is the thing with them. There's such a thing as an overkill. At the minute, anyone that just talks a little bit of common sense is gonna get into power. There's no need to go that far unless you're trying to create mayhem. You're trying to create attacks. You're trying to create fear. Imagine that from MPs. Nigel Farage always flirts on the edge of what you can and what you can't say, but this Sarah Potchin is absolutely a disgrace. Absolute disgrace for saying that.
I just can't believe that is in 2025 something that's going to come out of anybody's mouth in 2025. I know that they exist because I've seen that side of X. I know they exist, but still, you're on a show. You're being recorded in any way, shape or form, and you think it's okay to say...
It makes me sick. That's her words. It makes me sick. Makes
me sick to see black and brown... Please don't clip this. It makes me sick. Black and brown faces on the TV, not representing the British people. Well, I walk round the British country and I see lots of black and brown faces and white faces, and I will say this: that represents the British culture. I don't get.
Yeah, I know. Guys, we've got about 5 minutes left. We would love to get at least one live caller in today, guys. Sarah Potchin, Hades Kabatu, should we have paid him? Brad's Entertainment on YouTube, guys. Just click on the link and come over.
Well,
We want to hear from people.
that when we paid him £500 a couple of weeks ago, we was actually sending these sort of people home with £2,000 in their
Yes,
hand.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
Because it's cheaper to do that. It is cheaper to do that than let the human rights lawyers in on them. Because once they're in on them, we have to then pay their legal aid thousands and thousands of pounds to fight to keep them in this country. So if they sign something that says, I won't come back, because they're obviously law-abiding people. That's what I don't understand. These are law-abiding people. That do you know what we need? A chip. Right? if you come onto like the UK, you know them suits that you get where there's an electric.
Yeah.
That's what we want, a chip. So if you come back to the UK, you'll get electrocuted.
Yeah. I was wondering where you was going with that. Kitty, do you want to do the last 10 minutes on TikTok?
Yeah. We'll go over.
Do so I can invite people in. Can you just come in on my live and I'll open it up to 4 screens? Come in on my live and I'll invite you that way. Yeah. Okay, guys. Have peace and love on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Not TikTok. TikTok, you stay there. Everyone else, peace and love. I'll see you guys.